It's no secret that you guys know me as Kimora Blac, the identity that I created, the persona that gives me confidence. It's a second identity that I have been so addicted to. She has love for makeup. When she walks into the room, you guys know she's in the room. But truthfully, it's an identity that I have been hiding behind for a very, very long time. Now, in the past, you have seen glimpses of me out of drag. I come up here and there on my YouTube channel, but I've never really was able to introduce who I really am underneath all this makeup. Now listen, you guys, Kimora Blac isn't going anywhere, but I wanted to do this video to allow some space for me to come out and introduce you guys the real me. It has been something that I have been thinking about for a very long time, and now it is time to do it. So here is my true identity. My name is Van Nguyen, a Vietnamese-American with a loving husband who has struggled and still struggling to find out my identity. As a part of this process, I sat down with a loving person to find out my true identity and self-discovery. And I thought it was really important to share my story with you guys and also properly to introduce the real me, Vaughn. I hope that this helped for you to get to know me more, and I look forward to going on this journey together. Thank you for listening and allowing me to speak my truth, and here is my story.
So I know that you wanted to make this video to essentially reintroduce Vaughn. Let's talk a little bit about your background and growing up.
Ooh, little Vaughn. Growing up was interesting. I have a very supportive mother. I mean, it took a lot of work to get there, but I grew up in a household where parents were fighting all the time. I'm the older brother. I feel like I had to protect my little brother. I feel like I had to protect him from hearing the fight at home and things like that. I was doing things that a 12-year-old kid wasn't doing. And also at the same time, like figuring it out myself, like why am I gay? Why am I different? All at 12 years old. I had a lot of questions, but no one to really answer them.
Tell me about when you actually did come out. How was that with your family, all of that?
I knew I was different my whole life. In elementary school, I was different. I liked boys. I was playing with girls, and I was very alone. I didn't go to a school with a lot of Asian people, so not only being Asian and not fitting in and being gay, you know, I knew there was a term, but I didn't know it was called gay. I want to say I officially came out to my parents saying I am gay. I want to say when I was like 16. You know, it was a big fight. It was very long. They knew I was different. My dad looked at me really disgusted all the time. You know, I had these expectations to be older brother, masculine, taking care of my little brother and things like that. So all that was on my shoulders, and you know, and I knew I wasn't that. I was alone. I mean, I had friends. I think having friends or people you call friends is normal, but like it wasn't like I was, you know, talking to them about my life. I had to like turn it off as soon as I get home because I was scared of someone judging me. You know, I was scared of someone hurting me. I want to say I was bullied because is that like the term, but I felt like I was almost bullying myself on who I was.
So do you feel like you have grown up with two personalities?
Yes. I think I've always been someone else, and what I was presenting to the world, I think I was presenting myself a certain way, but inside was someone else. I wasn't able to unleash it, but I didn't know who it was. I didn't know who was inside of me that I wanted to show because I think I was scared. I started doing drag or wearing makeup when I was about 18 years old. I remember, you know, going to first period. I couldn't put on makeup at home, but on the way to school, I would put on like eyeliner and mascara, risking myself that people would make fun of me. I didn't care. I think I was getting to that age where like I don't really kind of care anymore. You know, I was getting ready to kind of sprout and become, I don't even know what I was going to become. It was a different time from what is now. You know, I'm sure kids in high school nowadays kind of have it more lenient than I did. I didn't know anyone else that was gay. I had no relationship with anyone that's gay. I didn't talk to anyone. I was just talking to myself, the person inside of me, and figuring out who that person was. I didn't, you know, get answers from anyone, but I didn't care anymore. And I just started loving makeup. I was loving makeup so much because I think I was pulling someone inside of me out. I remember, you know, wearing makeup at school, and as soon as the bell rings to get out of school, I would have to take it off. I did that for like a year, and then after that, I just started doing drag. I was 18 and I was able to go to 18 and up clubs, and I was putting on makeup in the car because I was so scared to even tell my parents that I was wearing makeup because I knew they wouldn't understand. I didn't really feel comfortable looking in the mirror. I felt ugly. I didn't feel comfortable leaving the house. I just hated the way I look. I mean, little things about little eyeliners and mascara, they do a big difference. But like just putting those things on, it was like a mask for me. It was like a superhero mask for me. I felt like who I was supposed to be. I just naturally felt like I was supposed to be someone else or something else. I started learning about drag. When you go to the 18 and up clubs, I knew there was one drag queen. I was so like, wow. I was so obsessed with her because she looked so free. She looked like she didn't care. I was like, oh my god, wow. I want to perform. I want to be the star. I want to be something that Vaughn isn't. I want to be something that Vaughn will never do. Vaughn will be mellow, but I wanted to be like a star. Mostly, it was the confidence. It was the confidence that she had that I loved. And the only way for me to be confident was to put on makeup. I barely see Vaughn. I barely see him. Like till this day. I don't know why I barely see him. I think I just push him away.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I'm obsessed with Kimora. Like, I'm obsessed. Till this day, I have never stepped out at night or at all without dressing up. It's confusing, but if I had an option, I don't want to see Vaughn. I guess I report to Vaughn. Vaughn tells Kimora when to go out. Vaughn tells Kimora what to do. Vaughn tells Kimora how to be, how to dress, how to say what to say. Vaughn controls me. It sounds fucking crazy.
If you could completely remove Vaughn, would you?
No.
So there is something that still holds you to who that side of you is.
Because a lot of people love Vaughn. Like, a lot of people, love Vaughn.
But do you love Vaughn?
I think I want to love him. A lot of people know Vaughn, like my family. Kimora's not around my family a lot for my family to even know. So I feel like if I were to say goodbye to Vaughn, I would lose a lot of people. I have a husband that dates Vaughn. I did mention back in the day, would I ever transition and become trans and have that journey? But that's not something that I feel. That's not something that I feel at all. It's been a question in my head for a long time, but naturally, my answer is no. Physically, there's no urge for me to change myself, my physical appearance, or changing the gender on my ID. I'm happy with the way it says. I am happy with male. I just don't want to be Vaughn a lot. And I think when I am Vaughn, it's a different personality.
Do you hide Vaughn because you're afraid of what people will think of Vaughn? Or do you know why you hide Vaughn?
Yes, I know why.
Do you want to go into that?
I don't want to be Vaughn because I'm scared of him. I'm scared of what people think of him. I'm scared of people saying he's ugly. I'm scared of people thinking Vaughn is not confident. I'm scared of people thinking Vaughn is just a little boy that isn't worthy. You gotta remember, this is something that I felt years ago, more than 10 years ago. Kimora is just something that I created to live almost every day. She has a job, she does beauty videos and work, and I'm obsessed with Kimora. I don't know what I would do without her. I don't even know how I would live.
What does it take to switch between the two personalities or the two people that you present, one being Vaughn, one being Kimora?
Mentally, I'm drained because my life is like a show every single day since I was maybe 14 years old. When you look in that mirror, I go I don't want to be this person today.
So do you feel like you created Kimora to help you overcome these feelings about Vaughn that you've had from a young age?
I think maybe, I don't want to say I was traumatized, but I think I was so busy protecting my family or my brother or whoever. A lot of people say nowadays is I'm very motherly. Kimora's there for you, but I don't think I'm there for myself sometimes unless I'm in drag.
Now, if I had to ask you, who is Vaughn? How would you answer that question?
I don't know, but can I take my makeup off?
Yeah, you want a minute?
Yeah, I'm gonna take it off.
So how do you feel now?
Vaughn? I mean, I see him every day, but oh, yeah.
If I asked you again, who is Vaughn? Do you feel like you can answer that question right now?
Yeah, I see a face that just blank. You know, like I see a lot of people like probably making fun of me. I see like a lot of memories. I hear like myself telling myself like, oh my god, I hate the way I look. I don't know, I just don't feel confident. I see someone with a lot of acne scars. I look like I'm just miserable. You know?
You talked a lot about how Vaughn looks, but who is Vaughn? Not what you see, but who is Vaughn?
I have no idea.
So you still feel like you don't know the answer to that?
I can't tell you like who I am because I don't even know. I don't even like I could tell you who Kimora is, but I can't tell you, you know, I guess who I am. It's almost like I'm ashamed to tell you who I am because I don't even know. And I want to know. I want to know who I am. I want to know what Vaughn can do, what Vaughn is, and all that. But all I am is I'm a son to a fantastic mother. I'm married to the most fantastic man in the world, and that's all I have to offer.
So when you wake up, who do you feel like you wake up as?
I wake up as Vaughn. Vaughn would get up, make coffee, check emails, you know, make lunch, feed the dogs, make a few phone calls to the family, and then I will start thinking about getting into drag. I start thinking about living my other life, the life that I'm obsessed with, the life that I need to be a part of, the life that people know. People don't know who I am. You know, like for example, if I go out of drag, I feel like I'm lost. No one would pay attention to me. No one even ask, hey, how are you? Only a few really close friends of mine know me as Vaughn. I would never introduce my real name to people. It's just someone that I just don't know. I don't think there's anything special about me. You see, I say me, cause I'm not in the oh my god, that's so crazy. That's really fucking crazy. Cause Kimora's like turned off now, you know, like oh my god, that's so crazy how I have two names and there's a name that I'm ashamed of and I don't want to ever tell people because of the stories in the past. So like for me to say something special,
This isn't about what you look like, so I want you to think about feeling and Vaughn. You wake up, you go into your restroom, and you look in the mirror. What kind of emotions go through your head, if any, maybe none?
I think about do I want to make Kimora permanent? Like I would like to know what it feels like to wake up like her, but I don't have an urge to. I think it drains me. Having to put on this persona all the time, having to put on the whole facade, like the whole, you know, the whole thing all the time just to be something, be someone. But I can't turn it off in front of people or out. I have to always be by myself or at home because I would feel really unsafe. I would feel very vulnerable. I would feel like someone's making fun of me or looking at me in a strange way. And it's been proven. People put me down. People look at me strange. I don't feel, you know, as glamorous as I want to be. So when I'm in drag, people say I'm beautiful. They say I'm like gorgeous. Oh my god, you're so pretty. And, you know, you're so pretty. I feed off of that. It's like energy for me. It's this confidence of like, oh my god, I'm obsessed with this.
You talk about only a few close friends, your family, your husband, really know who Vaughn is or really get to see that person, I guess we could say. Do you feel like you don't show Vaughn because you're afraid of how people will respond to Vaughn? Do you feel like he will be unaccepted? Do you even like to be referred to as he, she, they? Like, how does that even all work for you?
I don't even know what Kimora identifies as. It's not like when I dress up, Kimora's a girl. It's a personality that I love. I don't even know what Kimora identifies as, to be honest. Now that I think about it.
Because you've in the past talked about being non-binary and gender fluid, so it's more just about...
Yeah, those are the words nowadays to go by. You gotta understand, those words didn't exist back then for me.
Because you don't conform to one or the other.
No. I mean, I won't be offended, you know? I won't be offended if someone thought I was a girl or called me a female or a male. I'm not offended. You can never offend me with the words because I didn't identify with anything. The only thing I identified was Kimora, the person I created. I made her for me to feel safe, to feel confident, to be who I need to be, who I want to be. Kimora is my safe space, is the person, the superhero that I made because I was terrified of being who I guess who I am. And who I am is something I've never presented to the world. I've always had a visage. I've always been Kimora. She's my friend. She's my personality. I don't even need gender. Gender doesn't matter to me. Kimora Blac's never vulnerable. She's a strong girl. I created her that way. I made her that person. You can never break her apart. She is who I should have been permanently.
As a personality or as an individual?
I wish I had her personality as me.
And why do you feel like you can't?
It just doesn't come out natural. It's not something that I can just become as Vaughn, because since I was a kid, I've always been scared. I've always just been that person to, I guess, hide. And then sometimes when I'm like naturally me, it's scary. I would love to know what it's like to just be Vaughn and go out and have a good time. You know, people ask me like, how do you have a husband? And I said, I don't even know. As unconfident as Vaughn is, I don't even know. And I'm in a 9-year relationship.
That brings me to my next question, because you're talking about your husband and your relationship and how long you two have been together. Tell me about that. How did you guys meet? Did he meet Kimora? Did he meet Vaughn?
He met me as Vaughn. I mean, I wasn't looking for a relationship when I met him, but we just accidentally fell together. It was natural for me because I think he liked Vaughn. And that's probably the most authentic I felt as myself, because this is like one of the first people to ever know me as me. And we just accidentally fell into this relationship together and we kind of flowed with it. But I had the freedom to become Kimora.
When you think about Kimora, do you think of her as you, or do you think of her as like an older big sister that took care of you? Like, how do you see Kimora? Or do you recognize that Kimora is also you?
I see her as someone else.
Like a completely different person.
Yeah, she's definitely someone else. Oh my god, I'm so scared. This is so crazy. She's definitely someone else.
Since we're talking about Vaughn, what do you enjoy? What do you like to do?
I want to know who Vaughn is. I want to know why I'm this way. I want to know why, like, I had to do this my whole life. It's not like I want to say goodbye to Kimora. It's just I want to know why I'm like this. I guess I just want to know, why is there a part of me that is me? I think it's because of the people who know me. If I didn't have anyone that knew me, I probably wouldn't be Vaughn ever again.
As you are on this journey of finding out who Vaughn is and who you are, it's odd for me as the interviewer to say that because it's the same person. On my eyes, it's the same person, but I feel like because you walk such a narrow line between two people, I have to identify to you who I'm talking about. As you say, it's hard for you. It's also hard to kind of navigate the conversation. You feel like you've gone through this identity crisis for a long time, and you are now wanting to share and introduce the Vaughn side to the world. So as you go through this journey of finding out who you are and discovering who you are, you also want to share this journey with the people who love and follow Kimora.
Yes.
And why now? Why Vaughn now?
Because I'm tired. I'm tired of living a double life. I'm mentally drained because I feel like I have to hold her up and hold myself up, and I'm tired of doing that. I don't know what it is. I go into so many dark holes and nights where, I don't cry because I try to cry inside like a winner, but I don't know who I am anymore. I'm just tired of having to put on a mask all the time. I want to know why I'm here as Vaughn. I'm honestly super scared to do that because I don't know what that even looks like. I think I just want to be loved as Vaughn. Like, I want to go out the house and feel like I'm wanted and feel like I'm needed and feel like I am here for a reason. I don't feel like that all the time when I go out. I think it's time for me to really challenge myself to be who I am as at birth. Is me like this? I just don't know how long it can last because it's not real. Kimora's not real. It's not a real person. She's not. She doesn't have a birthday. She doesn't have a ID. It's a persona. It's like I'm like obsessed with her. It's like I have like a need to be her. I feed off of her. God, I never said it out loud. I think it's time to figure out who Vaughn is. I consider myself like an activist or influencer or, I don't know, role model. You know, like I consider myself that because, you know, people tell me they look up to me. But I feel so bad because they don't even know what they're looking up to. It's almost like I'm an imposter. They're looking up to a person that I created years ago, and I want them to look up to me. I want them to see me. And maybe by me coming out and saying all this and being, you know, presenting myself to the world, this is who I am, then I can change someone's life or I can help someone out there that they're not alone. You know, I've never told anyone this, but I hope I'm not the only one. And that's why I think it's important for me to come out and be who I am truthfully because I don't even know what that looks like. And I'm very curious to see where Vaughn goes and where that goes. To everyone out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for understanding. And thank you for allowing me to be me for this moment. It's really hard because it's really hard for me to do this because I have built Kimora to be this personality, this person that is my superhero, my cape, my mask that I invented. And I hope my story inspires you guys, you know, but there comes to a time where you do get tired and I am tired, I'm exhausted. I've said this so many times to myself that I'm so tired and I want to be me to the full extent. You know, I think we live in a time where you're either trans, you're non-binary, you're a male, you're a female, or whatever you identify as, whatever you are, or maybe you're just your first name. And I hope my story does inspire you. And I hope you guys join me on this journey as I find out who Vaughn is, as I find out what Vaughn can do. And I really hope my story does inspire you guys a little bit. As you guys know me, I cry and sound like a winner. I don't show emotion because I had to be that person since I was a kid. I had to be that person that was strong for the people around me. To look weak is definitely not, I am not allowed to do that. And the only way to do that is if I'm in drag. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for giving me your time and allowing me to be at my most vulnerable state. I'm gonna figure out who Vaughn is. I'm gonna figure out who he is.